Jazz Spade was a writer for one of the biggest singers in Canada, Lucy Q. She was in the studio one day and met Austin ATL, a rapper from Atlanta. Jazz went into the booth to record a reference track for Lucy Q. "Who is that in the booth?" said Austin ATL as he walked in the studio room. "That's my girl Jazz Spade. She's dope," said the producer. "Starch beats." "I can see," said Austin. "I needed healing after you left me." "Not caring where I received it," sang Jazz, hitting every note. "Alright, I think we got it," said Starch. Jazz comes out of the studio. "That was fire," said Austin to Jazz. "I appreciate it," said Jazz. "We should collab," said Austin. Jazz and Austin become close platonic friends. It was August 15th and Austin was having a birthday party at his mansion. Austin was taking shots all night. Austin's rapper friend, Geo 2020, was at the party. Him and Jazz were talking on the balcony. "I wish you would have come through my shindig last week," said Geo with a red cup in his hand. Jazz laughed. "Not your shindig." Geo laughed. "You make it up to me, but getting me a born day gift," said Geo. "You all Leos," said Jazz as she shook her head and smiled. Jazz briefly looked back and saw Austin dancing with his situationship. Moments later, inside the house, Austin looks outside at Jazz and Geo laughing and conversing. Austin walks outside and puts his arms around both of their necks. "You guys are missing all of the festivities," said Austin. "Alright, I'ma go get another drink," said Geo as he went inside. "Enjoying your party?" asked Jazz. "You know I always enjoy myself," said Austin as they both looked over the balcony at the view. "I definitely know that," said Jazz. Austin looked over at Jazz. Jazz looked into his light brown eyes. Over the next couple of weeks, Jazz and Austin found themselves in an entanglement. Austin was in Jazz's loft. Austin and Jazz were watching Boondocks on the couch, Jazz's head on his chest. Austin was on his phone liking IG models' pictures. Austin's situationship texted him, hard eyes. Jazz saw, but said nothing. The next morning Jazz was cooking breakfast. Austin came from the room and kissed Jazz on the neck. "I'm starving," said Austin. Jazz's phone chimed. Austin looked over and saw Geo's name pop up with the message, "Good morning future." Austin went to the bedroom and came back fully dressed. Jazz just finished making his plate. She turned around. "Where are you going?" asked Jazz. "I got a dip," said Austin as he walked out the door. Jazz stood there looking confused as she was holding a plate of food. Austin didn't call or text Jazz. Not too long after the radio silence from Austin, Jazz and Geo were in the studio recording. "My Tupac just died to me mentally. I see him in my dreams. Trying to sleep as long as I can. Killing me softly, these hills have eyes. What an entangled web we've weaved, he no longer rode for me, the sounds from the mics. Months go by and Jazz is 4 months pregnant. Jazz is out at an event. In a crowded room, Jazz and Austin lock eyes. Austin looks down and notices Jazz's belly. Entanglement.